which are analyzing in real time.
Okay.
The automated trading systems, you can't put all those variables in. It's almost like a nuance.
Yeah, it's too complicated. Once you put all of them in, it won't even let you get in
Well,
right now.
what I have found
Yeah.
is that my trading systems are based on indicator
Mm-hmm.
and the behavior of indicators and trying to
Okay.
predict. When the market is like this,
Yeah.
the obvious chart patterns work. And the reason is there's momentum.
Right.
So even though everybody knows
You remember
there's
that guy was saying
support
that at
here,
the
if it breaks, it's going to break.
yeah.
If there's resistance here,
And there's so much momentum.
exactly. And it's enough for me to grab a piece of the pie and walk away.
So have you finished trading for the day, or
Yeah,
you're going to go back in, or
no, I'm done.
okay? And you went
Um,
when you went when was going up. Is that what you were betting on
I
when you
wasn't betting
trade
on
today?
anything. I watched the chart patterns, and when I see a sequence that I think, let's say we're building support here,
Right.
I, my thought is, well, if we break support, it's going to drop quick, and that's exactly what it did.
So you were shorting or you were
I shorted near the top
okay, because then
of
you
the
knew it
move
would go.
down today.
Because I saw in the morning when I saw it, they said it was going up and all, the news was great, and I saw that it went down already.
Yeah, yeah. So
It took a short little. How many minutes was that? It was very short, huh?
it was about 4 minutes. I was in, I was out, hit my profits out.
Can you
Okay.
tell him about this upcoming seminar that we're doing in the blockchain and see if he's interested in
Okay.
it?
All right. If you want me
So
to
I
show him
vaguely
that.
heard that.
Yeah,
What's up?
Avi's gonna get on soon.
Okay.
We were having computer issues, so I was giving him some advice, and then he was going to fix it. And I'm the
Okay.
advice giver, and I say, Avi, you go fix it.
Yeah, I keep quiet about that skill set
Right,
because
right, right.
otherwise everyone's calling me, fix
Right.
their
So,
Windows.
anyways, so this is we're going to do something at the. They have what they call the Blockchain Center on
Oh yeah.
April 14th.
Okay.
So there's a guy his that we know he used to be the evangelist for Microsoft. We've known him for many years. He's a developer.
Okay.
And he's got now, Microsoft let him go a while back, and he gets onto these.
Tell him he was
And
presenting at Nova University with us.
he presented at Nova. No, he didn't present
Not
with
with
us.
us, but
He was there.
concurrently.
He was at Nova
They had the
University,
booth.
and he had a booth, and it's called Algorand, ALGORAND.
The stock market, if you can show it on the
I'll share
screen.
my screen and you can see.
Understand it a little.
Okay.
Let me share my screen here. Let's see here. And then I'm gonna have to leave early. I'm on this committee to
Okay.
figure out what's the university gonna do, with this virus.
Yep.
We're probably just we're
They're
probably we're
on the
probably
run
gonna
to close.
we're on spring break, and I think that maybe we won't be coming back.
I understand.
Will be online instead
So
of
so it'll be online. So it'll be more. So this, do you see it?
Yeah, I see it coming up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's called Algorand,
Yeah.
and they have a coin. By the way, it was going down very much yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, it went down. When I checked it, I was 5% down yesterday. It was 28 cents. What did you see it as before?
30 some.
Okay, so it's gone down. So, anyways, he's involved in this company. It's from this guy called Silvio, who's a computer scientist,
Famous for computer science professor in MIT.
MIT, and electrical engineering. And he's then is interested in cryptography, and he's developed and founded Algorand, a fully decentralized, secure, scalable blockchain, which provides a common platform for building products, services for borderless economy. Okay, and then he's into security and crypto finance. So we're going to do something on the blockchain. So this guy Russ, he is this guy Russ he is going to join us for April 14th. So what I wanted to do was he would talk about that, and we would talk about trading, maybe trading with Bitcoin.
Okay.
So it's April 14th. Whether it will be,
Who knows?
Because there is a blockchain center downtown Miami. We went there yesterday,
yeah,
and usually there are a lot more people.
there are a lot more people. We met a guy that his roommate just came off a cruise.
Oh, great.
And I made sure I didn't want to. He wanted to hug
He
Avi,
starts hugging her.
and he starts hugging. I didn't want to be hugged. I don't want to be near him. Some kid. And the director of that center, she's originally from Seattle. She went back to Seattle before this outbreak, and now is stuck in Seattle.
And she went to the city that is most
And
infected with
and
the
she's in
virus.
Kirkland or whatever, Kings County.
Yep, of
So
course.
she's on lockdown, basically.
Of course. Seeing what's happened in Italy,
Yeah.
I don't think we're that far behind.
No.
Oh no! It's a
And
matter
then
of time.
and you had that Trump idiot, you know what I mean, with the testing and stuff and all this stuff. I mean,
Instead of doing something,
he's making
he
it work.
demonstrates that he's not going to do anything.
Right. That's what he's done. There's nothing.
He is demonstrating that magically it will disappear.
Right. That's what and it's perfect, just like his Ukraine talk, right?
So
Yeah.
he's telling everybody I'm an idiot and I'm going to act on it, and everybody freaks out because they know that
The
what will
market, I
happen
think,
here.
you don't think the market is responding partly to that too? We got
Of course. The market hates unknown.
Yeah, but unknown and bringing us to.
Right. And then they definitely hate predictable unknown.
Right.
Which this is.
Yeah.
We know it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Right.
And here we are.
Here we are. So I'm going to have to leave earlier,
Okay.
and you can continue with Avi once he sets this up, because I'm going to go to this conference. So I'm trying to get, as a matter of fact, the only good thing, there's a couple of good things, is one, I don't have to leave the house, so
Yeah.
I can spend more time, and two, for instance, I'm getting the university to get more online tools.
So
Excellent.
for example, they got the enterprise Zoom.
So I got Enterprise Zoom. So I kept on nudging the CIO director, get me
That is
Enterprise.
quite expensive because they are going to combine online with regular classes because the students and the faculties are afraid to go back.
It's basically going to be shut down. So I kept on bugging him maybe a month ago. Everybody thinks it's not going to happen, So I got him yesterday, the CIO, to get that agreement. So we got that. So I have an enterprise version for Zoom. So the advantage to Zoom is that we can host up to 300 people that they can participate. Plus, I met somebody from Zoom a couple of months ago, and they told
went
me,
to a conference and they have some new software.
and they have some new software that you can stream also to YouTube Live. So why I'm going to the meeting today is I want to find somebody that will help me use Zoom to do this, that we can do this instead of or in addition to this StreamYard.
Okay. Excellent.
And then the StreamYard, what is the problem there? Like now the audio is good. Can you hear me well?
Oh, crystal clear.
It's crystal clear today, so it's variable.
They're working on it.
They're working on it, but I don't know if you've used Zoom. What's good about Zoom is it's able to do well audio. So we'll see.
So dedicated servers, it sounds like,
Yes, it
rather
is.
than. Okay.
Yes. So Zoom has really concentrated, and Zoom, you may want to look at it as in terms of stock. It's ZM. They should be doing quite well, right? They're publicly traded now.
Yeah, I'm really chagrined because I had a short position in the Russell for 6 months.
Uh-huh.
And when we had the big drop last week,
Yeah.
I cashed out because that was a huge gain in
Yeah,
just,
right. You
you
want
know,
to take the money and
and
run.
then I thought, well, we'll get a bounce
Yeah.
and I'll get back in. Well, we bounced, and I was waiting for it to get to $20.
Yeah.
It got to $21, and today it's 34.
Wow. What happened?
We just keeled over. We just
Which company was it?
Russell.
uh, the Russell 2000. It's a short index,
Short
uh,
index.
Uh-huh.
Russell 2000 short index. Yeah.
and I got in at around about 20 originally and cashed out at 25. And
Okay.
the small bounce we had, it went back to 21 and then straight down to 34.
Yeah. So 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 that's what we have planned.
Okay.
I'm gonna be going. So we have this thing on the algo with him, and if we that may be another area in which we can try to bring you in, and if we have the Zoom
Hmm.
and also the StreamYard, maybe it will be more stable with Zoom. We can bring you in through Zoom.
Okay. Well, I'm very interested. I'd be talking in trading in general rather than
Fine.
specifics about Bitcoin
Yeah,
or
but fine. You can tell them
crypto.
about trading that
Right.
that the rules are going to be applied. Applying
Right.
rules and something short. Even
Yeah.
do even as getting your foot in the water. In the
Hmm.
water, even like a 5 minute, 10 minute.
Right. And by the way, I formed the new company, so I'm going to
Okay,
have a
and what's the
new
name?
email. It's Abstract Trading Solutions.
Okay, at least it has trading solutions in it.
Right. Right. That was kind of key.
That is much improved.
Like my stepson was saying, he goes, I said, I don't know why so many people come to Rhino software.
Right.
He said, it's kids. They're looking for videos of rhinos.
Right. That's true. That's what I thought. I said, where the
I was
heck is
like,
that coming?
wow.
Right.
Oh, that
And it's going to even be more important now that there's the virus. All the kids are going to be home too. You got to entertain
Right.
your kids. Let them see the rhinos.
yeah, these parents are going to go absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you understand.
So
So
I'll send you the new email address
okay,
and
if you
name of the
want me to
company
use
and
it,
all
I
of
have it
that.
already there. You don't mind me send it anyways, but you don't mind me using the rhino.
No, no. Either
Okay, I'll
one's
just
fine. I just want to
okay,
get
but
you used to
sometimes I
using the
just
new
send,
company.
when I'm looking for something quickly, I have you already set
Mhm.
up. So I just want to make sure that you don't
Yeah.
close that account.
And the box people are trying to talk to me. The university contacted me and said, look, we're going to cut us out of the equation.
Well, they don't know.
You can talk directly to Box. So
Okay.
haven't heard from them yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't think. Also now, in this craziness,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure they're not they're worried about that. Now so many people are also working from home. They have to store. Everybody wants to store things on box too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there was such a confusion. Sarah went to a faculty meeting. They couldn't even
Hmm.
connect the camera and the computer and get it to work. That's
Yeah,
how
that's one of my main
incompetent.
worries of trading because I really fear either they shut the market down for 15 minutes, they did on Monday,
Yeah.
and you're stuck in a trade, or you just lose your connection. You know,
And now you think about it. How many more people? What kind of connection do you have at home? You probably have what? What do you have? From what
I just
vendor?
have AT&T.
Right. So think about how many more people now are going to use AT&T at home.
Hmm.
The whole country is going to work at any
Yeah,
office besides the
take your money
cleaners.
out of cruise stocks and buy telecom.
And biotech
Yeah,
Biotech,
definitely.
right?
basically will
And
boil
and
down to who will fix the virus.
and
Right.
Clorox.
Hmm. Yep.
I,
Yeah.
I've
Well,
gone I've gone
that's
three
what.
times to our supermarket. I've not once found bleach
Yeah,
and even those wipes. We had it. I buy stuff anyways, but
yeah. I was telling my stepson over the weekend. I said, listen. He said he couldn't get any of these cleaning products. I said, it's simple. Go buy 5 liters of vodka. It's multi-use,
yeah,
and it'll do the job.
I remember. Yeah, yeah. You know, we have a pool, so we always get extra bleach from the pool
Right,
man.
right.
We have a pullman that bring us how many gallons is in this
Yeah,
thing?
a lot, 5 gallons or something,
Yeah.
10 gallons. We have it all stored. So every time he does the delivery, he also we pay him in cash, so he gives us the
So
delivery of the
as you
clothes.
can imagine, our China trip is gone. We're not going.
All your
And
trips,
then
your
yeah,
next
so we
trip
were
was going to
gonna
be to Italy.
yeah, then we were gonna take a smaller trip, and we're not doing that either.
Well, they really, I don't know if you heard, they said that the health department wanted to tell the government that no one should be flying over the age of 60.
Yeah.
And Trump freaked out, and they said, we're not telling that to anybody, and you're
I
not
think
telling it
it's
either.
Trump. I think he's getting the virus.
And did you see everybody around him is now in quarantine? And they asked him specifically, did Trump get tested?
Yep.
And Pence, no, we didn't get tested. Why not?
Well,
And we have to
they're
lie
too
more.
yeah, they're too obstinate to get sick. The rest of us will.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But they'll have so many problems. Okay, so where do we go from here? That's the
Well,
question we have.
with
In the risk on, we were trying to get even someone to program for us the polynomial, which you did.
We were in touch with some company. Can
You're
you
in
hear me now?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me put you in the stream.
There is a group in Israel that I was telling you before that did this
I'm gonna.
project. Sarah has to go to the meeting.
Okay.
Hi, good to see you.
So there is this group in Israel that made a program that is called Strategy Runner. And what it will, do you remember me telling you anything about it?
Yes, I
Or what
do.
do you remember?
You give them the your code, and then they replicate it across multiple networks and servers, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, not only that, that is what you say is true. They will replicate your code on servers, but they will also convert it to assembler
Right, right.
and make it run a lot faster, and then have multiple servers around the world. So it's a little similar to Bitcoin and blockchain. What blockchain is
Right.
doing, every time you make a transaction on the blockchain, they replicate it to, with the Bitcoin, at least to 400 or 500 servers around the world.
Wow.
And they didn't do so many servers, but they had servers next to the major exchanges like the Chicago, the New York, London, Europe, and so on. So we went to, and she graduated from the Technion. We taught at the Technion as visiting professors. So we went to visit their place because we were trying to work with them, just like I'm trying to work with you now. And they had several dozen Russian programmers. At that time, the Kremlin just fell apart, and a bunch of Russians escaped Russia and came to Israel and were working
So
as
let's talk about where
programmers.
we're gonna go.
Anyways, one of them that is still, we've been in touch with him. He was interested in getting jobs, programming jobs, so I sent him some explanation about this extending the polynomial into the future.
Right.
And he says that he had the team there that is left over from those days because the company was sold, and some of the programmers are still working together. So he said that he will show it to his programmers, and it will cost me between $5,000 and $2,000. So I told him okay, and I sent it to him. And he didn't know which methods to use. He was asking me. So I went to the code, and I put a version of the code in a word processor, and I marked everywhere that it lists the period,
Right.
and it has a loop in which it publishes the forecast. And
Right.
I showed him just take the period and extend them. This has been also programmed in other platforms. I don't know if you are familiar with the platform that is called, it's primarily used for currencies. the picture that there's some Russian developer. This picture that we have on some of the broadcasts that looks like a wave.
Yes.
That is taken out. I send it to you on the PowerPoint. And
Yes,
when
I saw
you
it.
run the PowerPoint, there is a hyperlink to the article that was translated from Russian to English about extending the polynomial. It's one of those, and he published it in a platform that is called something trade. Anyways, so I told this programming crew there to read this article, but it was too overwhelmed for them when they started looking at the math, and so they got discouraged. So they said it is too complicated, we're not going to try it. So I told them, look, it's not so complicated, and I will explain to you what to do. And I did it in Excel, and I showed them several other applications that were done already, but not in NinjaTrader. And I told them, look, this is a polynomial at this prec2, just extend it. And I went through the code and explained it to him. That was a few days ago, and since then he's like, at the beginning he said he didn't want it, then he said, okay, now that I understand it, it is simpler than I thought, because I was starting to read the math about it, I got the headache. So I went to the code and I showed him it in Excel, and then he asked me what method it is. So I went into the code and I showed him every time that the period, the default of the period is just going backwards and up to the present, just extend it into 5 period, and I sent it to him and I didn't hear from him, and that was a few days ago. So
Yeah.
I wanted just to keep you posted as to what I'm doing. I have several programmers, Russians, that are doing it for a few years now. So if
Well,
some
we'll
of them
see.
can
That's
do
really
it,
good. Yep.
I would share with you if there will be anything useful. In the meantime, if you want to see the copy of my document that I send them, I'll send it to you too.
Yes, please.
But that is what we were doing, and in the meantime we were preoccupied here with this university, stopping to closing the university. This is a spring break, so next Monday supposed to resume the classes, and they freak out because they think that in Miami has a lot of foreigners from China, especially. For some reason they like the Caribbeans in Miami and the sun. And also a lot of them are from New York coming here too.
Sure.
Anyways, the university is afraid that they will find some COVID infected students.
Right.
And already we went a day or two ago to there's a Microsoft store here. We have a problem with the stitching the videos. It took me 22 hours.
My God.
One video of half an hour, and we produce at least 2 hours, and it may be also because of the hibernation. We run it
Right.
24 hours, and when the computer hibernates, it shuts down the app.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, this blockchain center has a group that is a gaming group, and they have those gaming machines, like
Right.
from Alienware.
Right.
And we ran it on one of those gamers machine, and it took him 5 hours to stitch one video, which is a lot better than 20 hours. But so then we went to the Microsoft store, and I said to myself, I took one of the gamers that has this gaming machine, help me evaluate the stitching capabilities of the new gaming machine.
Right.
Maybe your brother is able to help us there.
Maybe.
So we went to Microsoft, and anyways, we found some ways to try it again. So we have been spending a lot of time dealing with this online teaching and 3D, 360 cameras for online teaching, so you can turn them around, and when the students talk, it places the burden on the viewer rather than on the camera, because we have those PTZ cameras, pan,
Right.
tilt, and zoom, that are mechanical cameras. They break all the time, and it's old
Sure.
technology. Instead, if you can put a 360, then the burden is on the viewer, and we can stream it in 360 and not worry about it, and let them pan, tilt, and zoom the view.
The view. Right.
Right, so we spend some time on that, and so I'm not even going to the seminar. Sarah is going to the seminars to see what they want to do. and they have signed agreement with several companies that are providing online teaching with some kind of an exclusive contract that they, anytime they do online, of course, nobody anticipated the whole university will go online.
Right.
But this company is called Laureate. It's a publicly traded company, and they signed and they take 30% of the revenue, which is a huge
Wow.
chunk. But at the time, they thought, hey, we will have a few classes and we'll test it out. So they signed an exclusive agreement with them, and also they have enterprise agreement with Blackboard. Have you heard about Blackboard?
Yes, I have.
So with Blackboard and them, and there is a Kaltura, which is a component of Blackboard also, which does video streaming. So they're trying to figure out what to do, and they got a enterprise contract with Zoom. But the team, the IT team is very incompetent. They can barely get the network to work, and every second day there is another problem. So they had this conference in the dean's office, and they couldn't even get the PC to work. And then they had the experts around the university. The president is a doctor, so he aggregated the experts around the university and invited us. So Sarah went, and they were sitting in the dean's office, and they couldn't get the PC to work. And then they figured out that the previous session somebody shut the machine incorrectly, and because of that, nothing was working.
Right.
So they have another meeting now, and they accelerate those meetings. So in case on Monday that somebody comes up with the virus, that they will try to move to online teaching.
Right.
So we've been kind of preoccupied with all of that.
Well, I've been busily watching my order system trading in simulation mode. You know, it was not in a live account. And I've learned a lot about my own system by actually watching it work. And I've learned some pretty interesting nuances. And I got your spreadsheet that was demonstrating the extension of the polynomial that you sent. That's the one you sent, correct?
Yeah, I wanted to also make sure that I explain to you what I think it means.
Yes.
It is a huge, I calculated for you the difference between the linear and the polynomial, and the difference is huge, and the fit is incredible.
Yep.
It turns out that this R square behaves close to a perfect polynomial because it is so volatile.
Yep.
And the reason that it is so volatile is all those bots. All those bots are checking each other out. And when they find consistency among other bots, they bet that there is a reason for that, and they behave like a herd.
Yep.
And this R square catches it quickly, and this is why it is so volatile that you can hardly trade on it, because by the time you execute the trade, it's already over, so to speak.
Correct. That's exactly right. That's my experience. As I said, in applying analysis to the indicators rather than price movement, because I realized that a lot of the automated systems, that's what they're doing. And as you said, they all pile up in one corner when they all agree, there's consensus, and they all go there, and then in a nanosecond it's reversed.
Yeah, because they take the profit, just like you learned,
Yeah.
that once you make abnormal profit, you have to take it and get out, because it will turn around. As soon as the other bots discover it, the first one will do extremely well and the last one will be losing.
That's right.
So as soon as they make abnormal profit, they take the profits and run, so to speak, and everybody else starts doing it until the trend is completely reversed, and the losers pick up the rest.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, the greediest one stay too long,
Right.
and so that is what it means to me.
To give you an example, I've been trading manually these last few days, and I've done pretty well. As soon as I press the buy or sell button, and the fill pops up on my screen. So I'm in the trade. I immediately hit the exit button, and it's making my profit. I don't even know what the profit is. I don't even look. I just say out. I'm out.
But you know that it was profitable.
Yeah. Oh no, they've been. I've had
You
a
see
solid
that it's
year.
going in the direction, I mean, of your speculation.
Correct. And I'm simply looking at the chart patterns as a human being rather than a computer. And I'm going, okay, if we break this support line, go ahead and go short here. If we break this resistance line, go long. And that's all I'm doing.
This is why I would like to get this visual view of the polynomial going forward, because for people to understand what's going on, for traders, it's very helpful to have the polynomial instead of having to sit there and just focus in on the
Right.
mathematics and the statistics. And
Right.
so
Okay, well, we'll keep working on that.
I don't know how to proceed. It is obvious to me that there is something there with this behavior, and it's different. I haven't seen anybody that is doing it in such an extent. I've read extensively. In fact, in the past, I have tried to do it already as a measure of risk on and risk off, and I don't remember even what happened. I wrote some paper about it that I think even was not accepted, and it sits there in my unpublished papers, and I even cannot find it now. But
Well,
it
if you find it, I'd love a copy.
it is the idea is the same, and I noticed it before, but I didn't have the feedback that I have from you, because anytime I was talking to traders, they didn't know what R square is,
Right.
and I started explaining it to them, and then I found that there were inconsistency. We compared TradeStation, for example, to Ninja Trader. This trader has been trading with Ninja Trader for a very long time, and the president of TradeStation came to the university, so he wanted me to contact him and to show him we got, for the same exact algorithm and the same exact data, completely different results
Yep.
about this R square. And so I sent him some correspondence, and when we got stuck on it, we felt that it is not reliable, so I stopped pursuing it, and I forgot about it until I met you.
Right. The difference between these systems, Ninja Trader, TradeStation, any and all of them, is their implication of all of their various tools, all the way down to how you build mathematical models. And I think
Oh,
because
excuse me, one other thing, and also we did it in Excel. So
okay,
with the same data, we benchmarked it against Excel, and we got three different values, one in Excel, one in Ninja Trader, and they were close to each other, but the TradeStation was completely off.
right,
And that was his main trading system.
right,
And I convinced him to go to Ninja Trader, because what happened is a lot of the traders with Ninja Trader, he didn't have to pay a trade station. The new traders didn't have to pay trade station. They
right,
could simulate it on the platform for free, and instead of paying the $50 or $100 to trade station, they could, and since Ninja Trader was free, they could pay him the $100.
right,
And then as soon as they started trading, they lost so much money that their capital was gone.
yeah,
and,
yep,
and they couldn't even continue. So in the meantime, he had those waves of new traders that came in. They paid him, instead of what he did before, they were paying TradeStation, and then started trading and losing all the money. In the meantime, he was paying TradeStation. So I told him, why do you let TradeStation take the money, do it on Ninja Trader, and take the money yourself, and then when they're out of cash, At least you've
Right.
been paid some money for the
Right.
algorithm and for the services.
Right. Right.
So he tried it and he really liked it, but he never knew Ninja Trader well. He was really proficient with TradeStation. He's been doing it for maybe 20 or 30 years.
Right.
And
Um,
by now, I was inviting him to come to the seminar in Nova University, and he was telling me that he is abroad. He had plans to go to China, and I think that he's in China, but he didn't want to tell me
nice.
because he was interested in getting some Chinese students that we had to assist him. So some of the Chinese students were interested in internship. They wanted to stay in the U.S. and get the green card. And I
Right.
told them we will help you if you can. And some of them are programmers, and they were working for me. Go work for that Algo Trader, and later on I will help you get a green card. You can stay here and work.
Right.
And so some of them were very good programmers, and as soon as I was trying to hire them and help them get a green card, they were snapped by American companies that were paying them 10 times more, and they
Of
went
course.
to New York, to Washington, and they worked there as programmers, and they came to visit and so on. Anyways, the bottom line was that he said that he wanted to go to China like you. that, but that was for years already, and finally, I think that he decided to go to China, and so I invited him to come to come even online. But he said, I'm out of the country without
Yeah.
telling me
Yeah.
where he is," and that's it. So I
All
don't know
right.
what happened to him.
Fair enough. Okay. So, oh, one question I had: how do I update that spreadsheet? I tried to update it, with current data, and it didn't seem to.
The
I
best,
didn't want to. Go ahead.
yeah, the best way to do it is there is a function that is pulling the data off, and you can tell it. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. But even better is get the source code from this company, this guy that is publishing the trade algorithms.
Okay.
He's very nice, and he was working with us because I helped him discover some bugs in his systems. And he has
Okay.
the VBA source code that automates the grabbing of the data every time you load the program.
Okay.
So I don't know. Uh, what would you like me to do? Would you like me
Well,
to show you a demonstration of what it is on a spreadsheet, or what?
no, I understand what it is. What I want to do is update the spreadsheet on a regular basis to monitor how the predictive behavior goes.
Yeah, the problem is that it is a little buggy, and in the new
Okay.
versions of Excel, they went away from keeping the development of VBA, Visual Basic for Application, and instead they want to compete with Google, so they focused on Java. And
Okay.
the function, they didn't support the functionality of updating the web. But this guy keeps supporting it, and when he discovers bugs, he fixes it. Um, so we started testing the spreadsheets. In fact, I made a list of all his algorithms, and we were testing it, and I was helping him debug it. And he was very helpful in the way that he was trying to get it right. And he sent me updated versions every time I discovered a bug, and we tried to figure out together why does it hang up.
Right.
But we got it to work many times pretty well. And he had also an old version of Excel running on Windows 7. So he didn't have a more updated version. He's been retired as scientist from NASA or something like that. And so I was testing it on the latest and greatest version. We get everything here subscribed from
Right.
Microsoft, Office 365, and you have a version that runs on the web and another, on the server, and another version that runs locally. And so I tested it for him and I send him the results. And anytime the code broke, I send it to him. I don't, I'm trying to figure out what can I do in terms of showing you an example. What would
Yeah.
you like? What
All
would
I
you like
simply
to
want to
proceed?
do, all I simply want to do is I have the spreadsheet. I want to be able to input, the latest data every day to look at the predictive um, status that the computations give me. So when I tried to do that, it just didn't work. I actually
Okay, so that's
manually entered.
what you have done. I have done exactly the same.
Okay.
In other words, these polynomials that I calculated for you,
Yes.
he has a button that when you press the button, it goes to the web and it updates.
Okay.
You can also program it. There is a dialog box that you tell it update every 5 minutes or every 5 seconds, and it will do it by itself.
Okay.
So he had this button, and what I did, I took his spreadsheet and I added to it the polynomial forecast on a separate sheet.
Yeah.
And so every time it will add more records to the spreadsheet, and it will recalculate
Right.
everything. So it crashed. so it crashed. So I started corresponding with him, and it helped him discover some bugs that he had when he started going over the code with me.
Okay.
So,
So is the button on the spreadsheet?
excuse me?
Is the update button on the spreadsheet that you've
Yes,
sent me?
yes. It is on
Okay.
the spreadsheet, and it is very sensitive. So, for example, sometimes when the spreadsheet is not so responsive, when you click the button, you double you click it twice, because at the beginning when you click it, it doesn't respond, so you think that you have to double click it. And when you
Right.
double click it, it crashes. But when you single click it and wait, it doesn't. All kinds of nuances like that we didn't figure out right away. But
Okay.
eventually, that is what exactly I did. And I
Okay.
also,
Well,
before,
I'll find the button and I'll press it and see what happens.
let me see if I can find the correspondence with him. I'm trying to figure out how I can find it in his name. I had the whole folder about him.
Well, it's not urgent. It's just something that I kind of wanted to follow along and see how the predictive nature works out.
Yeah, let me see if I have a spreadsheet here. I don't know if I can share my screen. Did I share my screen with you? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can pull up a spreadsheet. I'm trying to remember it was what folder I saved it on. How can I find his email or something? Algorithmic trade. Okay, I have an idea here. Let me see if I can find his name even. And all these spreadsheets somewhere stored in a folder,
Right.
and I'm trying to find it, and I have such huge list of all kinds of emails. I think that his email was an AOL.
Wow.
He has this email like myself from AOL, from
Right.
when AOL started, and I was thinking if I type AOL, I have so few people that are still using the AOL.
Mail service, yeah.
Yeah. Don't know how. Anyways, I don't know if you are interested in looking at it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. As I said, that if there's a button on there and it's in Visual Basic, I can certainly look at it and play with it if
Let me see
need be.
AOL.com. At AOL. This computer is getting so slow. At AOL. Okay, now I start thinking maybe I can. Anyways, I'll probably find out about it sooner or later. Was
Okay.
traders.com, I think, is their website.
Uh,
You know this magazine,
yes.
and I don't remember where I stuck it in. All these computers. I don't even know the alphabet, the English alphabet well. I'm always going to the LMNOP.
Yeah. When I was learning to fly, you had to learn the alphabet phonetically.
Yeah,
So when you speak on the radio, and I was doing that all the time.
Trader at LMNOP. I got Trader TR. I think that I have some notes there. But anyways, that will be the best way to get it. You take his source code, and he wants to debug it because they pay him from the magazine to update it all the time for new algorithms that they publish.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it tonight. Maybe I'll just do a search on what is it called, this magazine?
I think you said was the website.
Yeah, traders.com, right. Trade.
Are you sure it's not stocks and commodities?
Yeah, this is, no, I'm sure that it is.
Okay, so it's the technical analysis of stocks and commodities
Right,
is the magazine.
right.
Yeah, I subscribe to that. So
Yeah, so the guy that is, because they wanted to get the students to subscribe to the magazine, I
right.
think he was interested in helping me. And he has this program.
Yeah.
Can you find the URL where they publish those programs online?
It is traders.com is their website. And that's where they have all the source code.
Right, right.
So I'll go hunt around for it in there.
Ninja Trader 8 and 7. 7. That zip file. I'm trying to do a search that
Right.
will find some of those. I was trying to do it for a long time. I don't know what got into my folder. Sometimes I do a cleanup. I have my hard drives are so jammed up
Right.
that it runs out of space, and I start stashing them in all kinds of backup hard drives. I have a few 10 terabyte drives
Wow.
that I use for backup.
Right.
So I'm looking at one of them now as we speak to see if I can
See if
find out, because this traders.com folder doesn't stocks and commodities. Let me see here. Documents. I'm trying to find it. Why do you want to do that?
As I said, what I want to do is I want to watch the predictive behavior of the R squared slash polynomial that you sent along, and I also want to play with the formulas a little bit. I have some ideas I want to apply, but I kind of want to test it on a bigger system first, meaning the daily charts, which is what that spreadsheet is hooked to. And once I have that, then I'll have some data sets to work with. I want to see if it's worth writing the code in C# to enhance that even further.
You want to work with code that will do what?
The spreadsheet that you sent, I'd like to get it updated on a regular basis.
Oh, okay.
So I can catalog its
Yes.
predictive analysis.
Let me do a search about stocks. It is the name of the journal is Stocks and Commodities.
The name is actually very long. It's Technical Analysis of Stocks and Commodities.
Yeah, the thing that I usually remember is Stocks and Commodities. That is unique enough that maybe it will. Stocks and Commodities magazine.
Correct.
Yeah. I want to know if it is searching my computer or searching the internet or what.
Well, listen, I've got to get going here. I've got some calls to get back to.
Okay, so let's plan on in the future. I'll send you this document that I sent to these Russians, and I will find one of those examples of these programs, and I will send it to you so you can go back to your business and I can go back to mine. And let's plan on, eventually I think I will have to basically replicate your system, because I don't really understand well exactly what you are doing to a degree that I can be of any help, because I have to have really an in-depth understanding exactly. It's a very detailed kind of thing that I don't have a grip on exactly what you are doing and what you want to do and how to improve it.
Okay.
So let's see if we can come up with some way that I can replicate it with a minimum loss of money first and other things. If you can think about something, let me know, and I will send you. I made a document for our classes to give students different algorithms and make a competition, make a game. That is all actually what I wanted to ask you about. If you can maybe run it by your brother or somebody that is dealing with games. I wanted to gamify this Ninja Trader and turn it into a game in which students will have access to a lot of different source codes and strategies, and they will make a competition in the class who can take either a single strategy and tweak and optimize it so it generates the most money or select strategies, different strategies that are available on the net, or different indicators like Prec 2, for example,
Right.
and apply it and get the most money, and then hone the whole class on it and try to improve on it, and then replicate it over the net, have a whole bunch of developers and traders doing the same thing, and eventually come up with a kind of an algorithm and update it every day or more frequently.
Okay.
So for that purpose, I made this document with a lot of examples with a spreadsheet that you are seeking. So I'm trying to find it now,
Okay.
and if I find it, I'll send it to you. And if not, we can talk about it in the future and see what we can do.
Very good. Very, very good.
So it's good to
Okay.
hear from you, and I'm glad to find out that you found some way to deal with this crisis, but my forecast is that it is going to crash a lot more. I mean, this is just the beginning, so if you can find some way to short it, use an index or something like that, so you don't have to sit on the computer like you do all the time and stress out. That is my forecast.
Right.
And I was telling a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, when I go to the jacuzzi at the University of Miami, all the people in the jacuzzi, a few people about in their 60s and 70s and some in their 80s, and they retired and they are doctors or something like that, and they have a good retirement plan and they trade on it. So they asked me my opinion, and a couple of weeks ago I was telling them that it's going to be a crash, and they didn't want to go out. I told them you should go out to cash, and they said we did so well with Apple and other things. God, I got this corona from this Chinese in the CES. Did you see this cough that doesn't quit? So I was
Is
telling.
it dry? Is it a dry cough?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the symptoms.
Yeah, and I take antibiotics because I had also some toothache, and I think it keeps it under control. Anyways, I told them, and they said we did so well. We're not going to take the money out. And so last time I talked to them about it was a few days ago, maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago. I told them it will become a lot worse.
Yeah.
And they said we are going to ride it out. So I'm telling you too that I think that what will happen is there will be a huge, once they will start to do the testing, they will realize that a lot of people, especially teenagers and university students type, young people are carrying it, not knowing it and spreading it around and not getting that sick. Like they cough a little and they think, hey, I have a little cold. And then they will need those beds like in China, thousands of beds, and they wouldn't have them.
Yep.
And there will be a panic, a big panic, and it will really crash. So anyways, for what it's worth, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree.
Just in the meantime, the most important thing is stay out of harm's way.
Yeah, you too.
Take care, and we'll talk to you in the
talk
future.
soon. Yeah, we'll
Bye
talk
now.
next week. Okay.
Thanks
Bye.
for calling.
Bye. No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.
in the broadcast?
No. Yes, please. Thank you.
Expect a bell for